respected guests, esteemed faculty members, and dear participants. Today, we gather to celebrate International Women's Day, a moment that honors the courage, creativity, and resilience of women across the world. It is not only a day of celebration, but also a moment of reflection and opportunity to recognize how far we have progressed in the journey toward gender equality and how much more still needs to be achieved. This day reminds us that empowering women means strengthening society itself because when women move forward, families, institutions, and nation move forward together. At Hindi University West Bengal, we are fortunate to be guided by a leader who truly represents these ideals. Our patron and Vice Chancellor of Hindi University, Professor Nandini Sahu ma'am, is a distinguished scholar and acclaimed author and a visionary administrator. Through her dynamic leadership, the university has witnessed remarkable growth in academic innovation, cultural engagement, and student centric initiatives. Her commitment to nurturing young minds and encouraging intellectual dialogue has created an inspiring academic environment for both teachers and students. The prestigious honor she received from the Vice President of India stands as a testament to her dedication to the advancement of knowledge and the promotion of academic excellence. Under her guidance, the university has grown into a vibrant center of learning where creativity, inclusivity, and scholarly dialogue are continuously encouraged. On this significant occasion, we are also privileged to have with us two eminent speakers whose presence makes this celebration even more meaningful. We warmly welcome Professor Anamika, an eminent writer and Sahitya Academy award winning author in Hindi literature whose works have enriched contemporary Hindi literature discourse and inspired countless readers and scholars. We are equally honored to welcome Professor Sanjukta Dasgupta ma'am, a distinguished author and professor of English, well known for her scholarly contributions to literature, gender studies, and cultural discourse. Her academic insights and intellectual engagement have made a significant impact in the field of literary studies. Their presence among us today adds immense intellectual and literary value to this celebration, and we look forward to hearing their thoughts, reflections. With great pride and respect, I now invite our esteemed Vice Chancellor, Professor Nandini Sahu ma'am, to deliver the inaugural address and share her thoughts on this meaningful occasion. Madam, the floor is yours. Thank you.
Namaskar. I congratulate and send my warm wishes to everyone out there, men, women, and the third gender, everyone on the International Women's Day. This year, the theme of the International Women's Day, the themes are rights, justice, and action. Such important themes and such important issues and discourses are coming up every year, and this year the importance of these three things, justice, rights, and action, they are so very important. Looking at the condition of this beautiful planet, the planet Earth, women who are actually the preservers, the creators, and women who keep the capacity, who have the capacity of providing food, livestock, comfort, love, affection to the entire humanity, are coming up to extend their support in solidarity and sisterhood. To me, the celebration of International Women's Day is not restricted to only women. Our gender discourses are incomplete if all the three genders are not taken, are not given equal importance and equal opportunity. We at Hindi University, West Bengal, invite the two eminent writers, Professor Anamika and Professor Sanjukta Dasgupta, two women of substance, two women of power, those who have been contributing to Indian academia since decades, inspiring women, in fact, inspiring all the three genders with their substantial work towards the preservation of humanity. At Hindi University, we are celebrating International Women's Day with our colleagues, faculty, staff, officers, and students, and we are trying to incorporate the best practices, good governance in our university every single day. And on International Women's Day, we took a promise. In fact, we are committed to maintaining, to incorporating the best practices in Hindi University and otherwise. We have introduced divisions and cells giving rights to education to our students as the foundation of women empowerment. Every student at Hindi University is provided with a fellowship every month so that women and the marginalized sections of the society do not have to shy away from education due to the lack of opportunities and resources for them. And we provide justice to our students as an institutional mechanism for equity. At Hindi University, we have been providing justice to our students through our equal opportunity cell, grievance redressal cell, and also we have introduced divisions and cells for students empowerment and travel and tourism, and also for our students to get employment. We have a training and placement cell very newly introduced, which is organizing important lectures, and the first lecture was delivered by a woman leader. Our translation workshop that was conducted only last week, it was engaged in creating students who would be translating important texts of world literatures to many Indian languages, and thereby creating employment and opportunity for many. The skill development and economic empowerment cell in our university, division in our university, is also engaged in creating a pool of specialized students, especially women, who can contribute to the civilization in a big way, because we understand that women and intellectual and academic leadership, they are truly associated, truly connected. And creative writing, to me, as a poet, as a writer of fiction and poetry, and of course folklore, I have always been engaged with texts like Sita, like Medusa, and through my poetry and my fiction, I have tried to address the issues of women, issues of gender. I have written poems on Ahilya, Draupadi, Kunti, Madri, the Pancha Mahakanyas, and I have written texts on folklore and mythology, where the important women leaders or important women characters from our mythology and folklore have been truly inspirational for us. And then I have tried to bring them to the forefront and present them to the next generation through my creative writing. The same tradition is followed by the faculty and the students of Hindi University. Look at our comparative world literatures lecture series. Many people across the disciplines, women leaders, even people from science, technology, artificial intelligence, literature, translation studies, Hindi, history, political science, and the various other Indian discourses, languages, and literatures. They have contributed in a multidisciplinary way to our Hindi University special lecture series, and we are going from strength to strength every single day. And then reclaiming mythology and cultural memory. These two ideas have always been engaging for the faculty. We had one literature festival from Hindi University in collaboration with ICSR, where our faculty members, especially our female students and faculty members, they engaged in a very critical and meaningful way. And now from the training and placement cell, we are trying to have one collaboration with an international university in the month of April, where we will give AI training to our students and faculty. AI is the need of the hour, and how to use it in a positive and more creative and productive way will be the theme of that workshop, where our students will be trained specifically for the usage of AI. And then we believe that knowledge sharing is knowledge production. So we are producing knowledge from Hindi University, West Bengal every single day by our journal, Fuji's Hindi University Journal of Interdisciplinary Studies, the cells and divisions that I just mentioned. And then we are trying to provide our students with platforms, with opportunities where they can come forward and speak for themselves. Hindi University West Bengal is deeply committed to the cause of the marginal, the subaltern, the causes that women and nature are deeply associated with. If you look at women and nature and their associations, you will be surprised to see that since the creation of humanity, women have been instrumental in producing, in providing, and in protecting the endangered cultures, traditions in the world. And at Hindi University, where men and women, faculty members, students, and the officers, all of us come together to protect the endangered cultures, heritages, languages through our journals, through our lectures, our courses. And today, on the International Women's Day, we are once again trying to reiterate the best practices that we have always followed here. I congratulate my colleagues for creating this excellent tradition of inclusivity and flexibility among themselves and among our students. And I invite the two speakers for today, Professor Sanjukta Dasgupta and Professor Anamika, who have kindly agreed to be a part of Hindi University tradition. Once again, many congratulations and best wishes to each one of you on the International Women's Day. As a women Vice Chancellor, the number of women Vice Chancellors in the country is very, very less. You already know it. As a women Vice Chancellor, the challenges that I face during my tenure as the Vice Chancellor of Hindi University, I try to convert the challenges to opportunities. I seek your support and your blessings to convert the challenges to opportunities, and in collaboration with each one of you, let's create a more inclusive society. Thank you and namaskar.
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to introduce our first speaker of the day, Professor Anamika. She is a distinguished contemporary Indian poet, novelist, and social worker who writes primarily in Hindi while also contributing literary criticism in English. She received the Sahitya Akademi Award in 2014 for her poetry collection Tokri Mein Digant. Her writings often highlight the struggles of marginalized women and question social structures that impose rigid ideas of femininity and masculinity. Madam, I invite you to share your thoughts with us. Thank you.
Namaste, all of you. Thank you, Nandini, for giving me these 5 minutes on the International Women's Day. I take this opportunity for addressing the international problem of aggression today. Hyper-masculine instincts are ruling the roost. Aggression has become the norm of the day. And what is the way out? If you give a thought to it, you will find being open to dialogue, observing the feminine principle of nurture and sustenance, and drawing out the best from everybody. Building bridges across culture is the only way out. As women, believing in the principle of universal sisterhood, we should all take a pledge today that we'll say a big no to war and operate through institutions who have gone defunct. Institutions like UNO, institutions like World Social Forum, and many such, micro level institutions which are trying in their own way to join hand. Sisterhood itself believes in hand holding. It believes in building real bonds. Interpersonal bonds are the only sacred space in life. And women know how to bridge gaps. Women know how to draw out the best from suffering hearts, how to inspire people, how to iron out differences, how to bear it out with grace, how to open up opportunities of a meaningful dialogue across borders. After the Second World War, we had realized for the first time that women on roads, women beyond the house and the hearth, also can be instrumental in constructing or reconstructing whatever we've lost. The cultural capital of eternal dialogue, the cultural capital of building amity between nations. The same principle which operates at the micro level in homes, where we build bridges across sons and fathers, where we try and build bridges across warring factions, battling factions, be it in the society or at home or at the larger forum. We are there, almost tuned to this higher goal of not ruling out differences, acknowledging differences without actually creating the atmosphere of hate speeches. We are there as women to tone down hate speeches. We are there to allow aggression a backseat. We are there to promote a kind of atmosphere where people could tone down their egos. Nations too could tone down their egos and take a step forward towards peace building. As soldiers of peace in the Middle East, in all the fora of the world, women have been trying to promote better understanding between hearts. And this Women's Day could be the right occasion to, to join hands and speak to our own sons and daughters, not only the biological sons and daughters, but the sons and daughters of the soul across the earth, that you have to observe the feminine principle of nurturance and sustenance. If you become or remain as hyper masculine as your seniors have been, ruin is this and disaster, a very painful kind of disaster, is going to end the world, not with a bang, but with a whimper. And even when the bang is there, it'll be so deafening. This time, when the London Bridge of Cultures fail, and we do not rise to the occasion of observing the feminine principle of dialogic, peace-building notion, unless we take a vow to be the mother of the earth, we are actually leading our whole world to the idea of damnation. यही वो समय है दोस्तों, जब एक ऊर्ध्वबाहु संकल्प लिया जा सकता है। हम छोटे धरातल पर शुरू करें, लेकिन संस्थाएं परिवार से ही शुरू होती हैं, पड़ोस तक जाती हैं, और उसके बाद मीरा के प्रेम बेल की तरह वो जाति धर्म वर्ग की कटीली बाड़ियाँ पार करती हुई आनंद फल का भी वाहक हो सकती हैं और विष बेल भी बन सकती हैं। विष बेलों को उखाड़ने का और प्रेम बेल बोने का समय है, और पहली प्रेम बेल बोएंगे तो ऐसा लगेगा नहीं कि वातावरण बदला, लेकिन जो जहाँ है वहीं से शुरू करे नए बीज बोने के, तो धीरे धीरे पूरे शहर की जलवायु बदल जाएगी। मैंने दोनों भाषाओं में अपनी बात कही ताकि जो मेरी भाषा नहीं भी समझते उन तक ये पहुँचे, और पूरी धरती की माँ बनने का जज्बा हर हृदय में जन्मे। युद्ध और आतंक आतर इस दुनिया में सारे झमेले मिटें, अहंकार से प्रसूत सारे झमेले, चाहे वो वर्ग का अहंकार हो, जातीय अहंकार हो, राष्ट्रों का अहंकार हो, या मर्द का अहंकार हो, हाइपर मैस्कुलिन बना देता है, और हाइपर मैस्कुलिन व्यक्ति नई स्त्री के प्रेम के काबिल नहीं रहता। धन्यवाद।
Thank you, ma'am. Now, I would like to introduce our next speaker, Professor Sanjukta Dasgupta, who is a professor of English, a distinguished critic, translator, and poet. She has published widely in journals in India and abroad, and her books have been translated into several languages across the world. Among her recognitions, she has received the British Council Charles Wallace Scholar Grant and many more. It is our great pleasure to have such an eminent scholar with us today. Madam, I warmly invite you to deliver your lecture. Ma'am, please.
Hello everyone. Good afternoon. Every year on the 8th of March, we celebrate the International Women's Day. This year too, we will be celebrating the International Women's Day on the 8th of March, and the theme designated by the United Nations for this year's International Women's Day is Rights, justice action for all women and girls. This theme focuses on dismantling systemic barriers such as discriminatory laws and weak legal protections to ensure equal justice and rights for women and girls globally. And in terms of the context of this particular day, where we have to think seriously in terms of our own contribution as individuals to the advancement of women as a collective and women in particular, whether they are women in the tribal areas of India, women in the suburban areas of India, women in the urban areas of India, whether there has been the much needed progress in women's lives in terms of education, in terms of women's health, in terms of women's wealth. A particular aspect generally ignored, as it is taken for granted that women are not those who can acquire property, claim property, or even be able to earn their own living throughout their lives and establish themselves as owners. Rather, the traditional notion of women being owned by the patriarchal system still seems to persist throughout the world, and especially in the world where parts of the world rather where we find that education for women is not available very easily. We know about the rural areas where more than 40 to 50% girls who join the primary schools drop out by the time they reach middle school. There are no facilities in terms of personal hygiene made available to adolescent girls. We know about child marriages. We know about the fact that women who work in the unorganized sectors, that is almost 70% of women who work in India right now in the 21st century, are those who are exploited by middlemen, exploited by their families, and yet they are contributors to the domestic GDP. So all these factors must be addressed when we celebrate International Women's Day with great fanfare each year, but we need to also think in terms of all the intersectional aspects which have to be reiterated each time that we think in terms of women's liberation, of women's right to live, right to property, right to make their choices, and right to lead an independent life. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am. Respected Vice Chancellor, ma'am, honorable speakers, esteemed faculty members, and dear participants. As we come to the close of today's webinar, I would like to express my sincere gratitude to everyone who made this celebration of International Women's Day so meaningful and enriching. the insightful thoughts shared by our distinguished speakers who have given us much to reflect upon. Their words have reminded us of the importance of dialogue, creativity, and collective responsibility in building a more equal and compassionate society. I extend my heartfelt thanks to our respected Vice Chancellor Ma'am, Professor Nandini Sahu, for her inspiring presence and guidance. Her continuous encouragement and visionary leadership always motivate us to organize such meaningful and academic cultural engagements. I would like to express my deep gratitude to Professor Anamika and Professor Sanjukta Dasgupta ma'am for their enlightening lectures and for sharing their valuable perspectives with us. Their presence truly enriched this occasion and inspired all of us. My sincere thanks also go to all the faculty members, organizers, and students whose effort and participation made this program successful. Your enthusiasm and cooperation have been truly commendable. With these words, I once again thank all of you for being a part of this special celebration. Let us continue to work together towards a society where equality, respect, and dignity for women remain not just ideals but everyday realities. Thank you and have a very good day.